Once again, back on West Virginia and Commonplace, we have Erica from West Virginia Farmers Market Association. Let me tell you guys something real quick. Um, her and her office, they um were brought to me by my girlfriend Stacy, and they allowed me to do a show with them. Their show, and I'm not saying it in a weird way, I'm saying it in a great way, has become my biggest show. Hands down, we're talking across all platforms. I'm on 13 different platforms, 15 now as we speak today, because I'm on iHeartRadio and Amazon now. So, the widespread message of what they do in West Virginia resonated so much with everyone that Erica decided that she would actually come back. Her and the Farmers Market Association. And I always like to reiterate all that because some people just thought, oh, West Virginia Farmers Market. No, it's the association. So, Erica, would you take the floor, tell them how you're doing? And once again, I want to tell you personally, thank you for giving me my biggest show.
Oh, sure. I'm happy to help in any way I can. I love local food and I love promoting farmers markets and local shows like this. So I'm excited that you have the numbers that you do. So this is really, really a great opportunity for us to get what we're doing out there. And it's a really good collaboration. So thanks for having me on the show again.
Anytime, anytime. So you have something big going on, and I'm not going to spill the beans on anything. This is one time like where you're like a best friend now with us over here, not because of the numbers, but just because of how friendly you are. I'm going to let you explain everything that's going on with you. And this is going to be something, guys, that we hopefully we can get her to come back and do once in a blue moon or whenever she has free time. So the floor is yours, Erica. Tell them what's going on with West Virginia Farmers Market Association.
Okay, so have you heard of Giving Tuesday? Have you ever heard of that initiative?
I had not heard of it.
Okay, so Giving Tuesday is a global giving day that happens every year and has since 2012,
Okay.
where basically it's just you've been spending money at the all of these different places for Black Friday, on Small Business Saturday, you have Cyber Monday, but you overlook some of the most deserving and underserved people. So a bunch of people, a bunch of nonprofit organizations got together and started this initiative called Giving Tuesday, where the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving, everybody donates money to their favorite nonprofit charitable organization. So that's essentially what Giving Tuesday is, and the Farmers Market Association is participating this time for the first time ever.
Okay, so it sounds exciting. What is the name of y'all's promotion inside this promotion?
So this year, we want to raise $65,000 to go towards pharmacy initiatives in West Virginia. Farmacy is a really cool program where it's a holistic approach to medicine. So basically, instead of having you go to the doctor and get a prescription for metformin or something like that because you have diabetes, the doctor prescribes you a box of produce instead.
Okay.
So the program takes a food as medicine approach. It doesn't necessarily take away the need for certain medications whenever it comes to chronic illness, but it does help people understand how nutrition affects your overall health. And that's pretty much what pharmacy is in a nutshell. But there are a lot of different moving parts that also go along with it.
All right. So one cool thing I want you to do real quick: spell your form of pharmacy for the audience.
Okay, so this is pharmacy spelled Farmacy. So it's pharmacy, like you go to the farmer's market to pick it up, because you do. You go and you meet the farmer who grows your food, and You take it home with you, and you can use the recipes that they provide to you. There are a bunch of different programs that come with it. With our program, we want to support some coaching, and that includes daily wellness. So if an individual is able to do certain activities, then they're encouraged to do those activities. And we work with nutritionists, exercise physiology specialists, and dietitians to help figure out exactly what's going to work for each individual patient. With this Giving Tuesday program, we want to feed 125 West Virginia families next year for a 20-week program. So
Okay.
all of the money that we receive for this will go directly towards pharmacy initiatives across the state. Right now, there are 11 counties that have pharmacy initiatives, and we want to expand on that and keep the collaborations going in those counties, and
So
expand it past those
so
counties.
eventually you can get all the way up to 55, right?
Eventually, we would love to see a pharmacy initiative in all 55 counties. Yeah.
Okay. So here's my question here. And I always love when people give details on things, but they always forget one thing. Where do they go and how do they help?
Okay. So what you have to do is, if you are in one of the 11 counties that have a pharmacy program right now, basically you just ask your doctor, do you have a pharmacy? Can I be involved in this? And if you qualify being that you have a chronic illness, typically right now they're focused on diabetes and hypertension. So those people with those types of chronic illness have a high priority to be uh, incorporated into the program or accepted into the program. But you can be a part of this program and just show up during pharmacy days and participate.
Okay.
It's not closed. You might not get the coupons, but you can still participate and get the products. So and these pharmacy boxes can be made to order, or they work like a CSA or a community supported agriculture box, where
Okay.
the farmers will grow to a schedule and have specific types of produce that they have each week that's going to be in the box. And the Pharmacy West Virginia guys have done a really good job of telling each individual patient what the nutrition benefits of the produce are. And they also help you figure out what recipes go really well. So you don't just take it home and fry it up and try to eat it. Because some things, they're not really healthy if you just douse it in oil.
And right
I
up.
mean, it might
Right.
taste great, but it's not necessarily the best way to eat it. So we want to encourage people to eat the most nutritious version of the product, not just the tastiest version, although you can make them pretty tasty regardless of if you fry them, boil them, bake them. You know, they have some really good recipes that are even better than just frying it in butter. So
Okay, okay. Now, I like this approach and I like hearing about this because it's like, you're going to your doctor's going to actually try to help you get healthy. And, we have a very, very high obesity issue in the state, and then hypertension and, diabetes and stuff like that. Like, you could probably teach someone how to like regulate their insulin and different things like that. So I find this all amazing. So let me ask you this personally, and looking over, I'm going to call it curriculum. I mean, you may call it some type of overview. And looking over anything, have you found anything personally yourself that, like a recipe or anything inside of this that you've taken from it and you're eating healthy now?
personally, with having an autoimmune issue myself, I can't eat a lot of what are they called? They're nightshades. I can't eat nightshades because they cause flare-ups. So I really love potatoes. I will eat them. I'm West Virginia girl. West Virginia girls love potatoes. I grew them as my FFA project. I had potatoes growing up all the time, but now that I'm older, I have that autoimmune issue and I can't eat potatoes. So instead, I have to eat sweet potatoes, which are not a nightshade, but I make them very similar. I bake them same way, a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and it's good to go.
Okay, now let me ask you this. What about another one? We're going to go into a root vegetable. Just this is off topic. What about a parsnip?
I don't eat parsnips. I'm sure that there are plenty of people who do. I'm not a big fan of them.
Rhubarb?
I don't have a good recipe for parsnips. I could tell you a really good recipe for, let me see. I really like steamed, what is it called? Chard, Swiss chard, baby chard. It's
Okay.
really good. Yeah.
I may have to try that. What about
It's a
rhubarb?
little bit, I don't eat, rhubarb is really good in pie, but I haven't had it in any of these dishes. There's also a really good recipe that the Farmers Market Association had a few years ago in our cookbook that was a crustless quiche.
Ooh.
And basically, what you do is you take kale, peppers, onions, and some spices, whatever spices you like. Kale and spinach as the main um, ingredient, and you need a pretty good amount. And then you whip up those, I think it's 5 or 6 eggs, and you beat them. And then you pour it all, you put the vegetables in first, and then you pour the eggs around it with some cheese, just a little bit of cheese. You don't want to overdo it. And then you bake it like that in a nonstick pan. It's so good.
Okay, so definitely audience listen to that. And so you dropped something, this cookbook. Is this cookbook still readily available? Or
Unfortunately, no. But if anyone wants to get that recipe, please email me at coordinator@wvfarmers.org, and I will definitely get that over to you because
okay.
it was a number one recipe that in the cookbook. So we had a few years ago. This is just a side note. We had a recipe contest with the American Heart Association to create this cookbook. And we had 3 winners, and one of the winners was that crustless quiche, and it's
Okay.
part of that cookbook. The other 2 were a honey angel food cake and chicken butternut patties, and
Oh, that
both of
sounds good.
all of them were so good. They were so good.
Okay. Now you've got something else you want to talk to us about,
I wanted to continue talking about pharmacy.
right?
Yeah.
So we got off
So,
topic a little bit.
yeah, but that's okay because that part of the pharmacy program is that they do nutrition education. So they have recipes and things like that on site. Usually in not COVID times, they'll even do demonstrations at the farmers market.
Whoa.
So you can learn how to make the stuff that's in the boxes that week at the farmers market. So that's why this is a really cool program, and we want to keep this going. So I would really appreciate it if everybody who listens to this would help us out a little bit. Uh, right now, there are 11 counties that have pharmacy programs. And if you are currently in one of these counties, you can go to your local farmers market or your healthcare provider and ask them if they have heard about the pharmacy initiative and if they are participating. Because if you are someone who suffers from a chronic illness and you want to get healthy, the best way to do that, or one of the best ways to do that, is to join a pharmacy program. Those counties are Tyler, Upshur, Barber, Boone, Cabell, Greenbrier, Lincoln, McDowell, Mercer, Mingo, and Roan.
Oh wow, that's really spread out.
Yeah.
That's really spread out. It's like up at the top a little bit, in the middle, a little south, and a lot southeast, really.
Yeah, they're all over the county. They're all over the state. It actually started in Tyler and Wetzel counties,
Oh wow, like New
and
Sisterville type deal.
yeah, yeah. The Sistersville Health Clinic, I think, is the name of it. They have helped out a lot with the one in Tyler and Wetzel County. That's
Okay,
where the pharmacy initiative started in up and around Wheeling,
okay,
and Farmacy, West Virginia, is where you would go to learn more about the pharmacy initiative, how it started, and what they're doing right now in the off season. They just wrapped up their 20-week program, I think, last week. So they won't start again until spring. But
okay.
in the meantime, they're going to be planning for next year, and they're going to be looking for patients to start now.
All right,
So
and once again, one thing I wanted to plug is how can people donate again? What website do they need to go to? Because I always reiterate this stuff for the simple fact that in these podcasts, except for maybe your podcast, they don't skip through your podcast, but some podcasts that I do, people pick certain parts that they're going to listen to. So I always want to reiterate where they can help out.
So where you go to wvfarmers.org/get dash involved /Giving Tuesday. And Giving Tuesday is one word. You can learn more about what our goals are for the year and how you can donate. And there's a donate link at the bottom of that page so that you can, and you'll be redirected to our PayPal so you can contribute to help some families next year. What we're trying to do is for each donation, you'll be able to help a family for a certain period of time. So anybody who donates $20 will be able to feed a family for a whole week. Um, Anyone who donates $90 can feed a family for a month. $200 will feed a family for half of the season, and $400 will feed a family for the entire program in 2021.
Oh wow! So yeah, people definitely audience West Virginia Commonplace definitely like to see some people get out here and donate because you listen to the episode, and there's so many families that you know out here that need help because n- no offense to any other state in the world. I mean, in the United States, not the world, but in the U.S. But West Virginians, we hug each other. We try to take care of each other, and I didn't say that in a bad way. I'm just saying we help each other out. So if you can, definitely donate. And I mean, like I said, from the approach that you said about everything that goes on inside of pharmacy, it sounds like an awesome program, like something that really will resonate well with people that need to get their health back on track. And just in general, if you're ill, there's all kinds of approaches with food to help you get better. So I definitely do think like that's really a good cause. And remember, guys, December 1st, that's the start of that, correct?
That's when we're really trying to push to get donations. We want to get as many donations as we can on Giving Tuesday. It would be amazing if we could fully fund this program on December 1st, on or by December 1st. That would be amazing. With West Virginia right now, we are at a 19.1% poverty rate.
Ooh.
Um, and with the pandemic, although we haven't heard for certain, I'm sure that number's gone up.
And I agree with that too, because a lot of people out of work, and the rise of unemployment and every other factors that go into what's going on with COVID-19. And even my outside listeners or listeners, because we have a crazy thing that I'll do real quick on this episode. Statistic wise, we have a lot of people that listen. The biggest group that listens to the show outside of West Virginians are in Georgia and California. So any of you people, even if you don't have family here, if you wouldn't mind donating, once again, uh, we'll plug the necessary places for you guys to donate and things like that. But yeah, like the audience, and it's another weird thing too, is a lot for your show came from Bangladesh. So anybody in Bangladesh, donate some money to help out over here. And, you know, obviously we take care of you guys over there at some point doing something for you to be able to listen. So, you know, I definitely think that would help your calls, and it would resonate very well. I keep using resonate. That's the word of the day today. Um, so Erica, what else is going on? What else do you have for us?
Well, the best part of this specific program is
Okay.
that we are going to be helping 125 families, but we're also going to be helping the farmers that are participating in this program. So I just wanted to let you guys know that any donation that you have will not only feed those 125 families, but it'll go further than that, because you're also going to be building the local community and helping the farmers continue to do what they're doing. So they won't just be feeding those 125 families, they're going to be feeding the other million families that are in West Virginia, the other million people that are in here trying to live paycheck to paycheck and survive. So, um, other than that, we have some other stuff going on. This right now, we are doing a statewide farmers market census for all of the farmers markets in the state. Um, Recently, I think on the last episode, I talked about how we wrapped up our policy survey,
Yes, you did.
and what we found was that most of the farmers right now are struggling with broadband access. So, what we're going to try to do is work with our legislature and see if there's any way that we could help get more people online next year, especially in rural areas. And we'll be working with the West Virginia Department of Agriculture to look into other issues that are going on with our food system as well.
Okay. And I think, yeah, probably with broadband, I think that's a whole West Virginia thing as a whole. Um, I, I not to take away too much from what I was doing yesterday, but I was on my way up to Morgantown yesterday, and I was going up 79, and I stopped over in a little place called Flatwoods, and you know, I get to talking to people about different things that go on there, and like you said there, that communication that we need there with broadband, that's something that every place that I go that's just a little bit rural or off of the beaten cell phone path, it seems like what they need. So I have a few questions that I like to ask you. Um, okay, so going forward with the West Virginia Farmers Market Association, um, are you all like the markets are still open as we speak now, right? Like you can actually
There
go
are some markets that are year-round markets that are open right now, but most of them have closed for the season.
for the season.
Yeah.
So when they pop back open with COVID-19 initiatives probably still in effect, we're gonna assume that it'll be with us forever. Um, let's say a person, because I remember last time we did county to county, but I'll just keep it real simple with a county. Um, say like a person that lives in Roane County,
Hmm.
because that's the county that split 77, 79. Roane County, where do they go? Do they have a farmer's market in Roane County? Do they
Hmm.
have?
Yeah, there are a couple of farmers markets in Roane County actually, but the biggest one that I know of is the one that's in Spencer, and it's
Okay.
downtown at the courthouse.
Okay, so
Um,
down there. So that's where they
and
go.
I think that one's on Saturdays, but I'm not. I don't quote me on that. It's much easier to go to farmfreshwd.com and look it up and see which farmers market is open in Roane County on those days. Um, but I know that Roane County is one of the markets that participates in pharmacy and will be for the 2021 season, and we'll be trying to help them out with this program. So,
Okay, so everybody in Roane County, because Roane County touches a lot of counties. It touches your home county of Ward, touches Jackson, touches all kinds of places. So definitely out there, make sure you guys get out there to pharmacy. So here's my next question, and this one is a big one. All right, um, collectively for the whole year, like everything that y'all have done before we did this episode until after we done this episode, how does West Virginia Farmers Market Association consider this year? Do you all consider this year a great year for your company? Are you allowed to speak on that?
I think every year that we are seeing growth within the local food system and the increased communication, we're seeing this year that there are way more farmers markets than there have ever been in the state. Uh, we are seeing a huge drive for individual community members to go to the farmers markets and to buy directly from farmers. Um, so, uh, just looking at that, yes, we're successful. Uh,
Okay.
we, I judge success based on the result, and the result is positive. Right now, we're making a positive impact for our communities, and that's really what we strive for. And as long as we can do that and continue to do that, I think we'll be all right.
And one thing I want to throw in here too, like you said about the farmers, because sometimes I get away from the actual farmers. Um, I think that with this pharmacy program, just going back to that for just a second, that's a really good look, or as we say on the show, a shout out that you guys are doing for them. You know, allowing their product to be out there, and also like it's kind of a sort of an advertisement for them for their goods also because you know if I get a piece of corn from said area of West Virginia and it's better than this said area, you know I could spread that word to my cousin that lives in the western part of West Virginia or the northwest,
Yeah.
um so
And that also helps those farmers too, because if this farmer down here has a better crop than the one up here, then they might be able to talk and figure out what they're doing
collaborate.
differently. Yeah. And really, we would our organization really encourages people to communicate and be openly collaborative, because we can't just we can't work in a bubble and
Okay,
expect to move forward.
so you
Like,
want them to so everyone to have a continuum.
yeah, I would love to be able to see the farmers working together to make sure that everybody gets fed in the state. Um, right now, with those numbers staggering at a little less than 20% of our citizens in poverty, um, our farmers are included in that. Like, our farmers are also living in poverty. Like, whenever you see 20% of the population is living at the federal poverty line, that includes uh, people who are supposed to be supporting our food system. And that's terrifying. Like, we
Right.
want to be able to have growing, sustainable businesses. And if we don't have food, water, shelter, which is all part of agriculture, then we don't really have a working civilization.
True,
So,
true.
um, so we gotta make sure our farmers are fed. We gotta make sure our communities are fed, and the best way to do that is to have open communication and collaboration.
Okay. All right. And Erica, once again, I want to thank you so much for coming on West Virginia and Commonplace. Thank you for West Virginia Farmers Market Association for allowing us to be the place that you broadcast your information. And I hope that there's more guided West Virginia podcasts also that can get involved with you guys too. On that note, and I've spoken with a few other ones, and I hope someone reaches out to you so that we can get the word even further. Which I know I'm getting it a little ways, but we could always have more people involved, and we want to have you back on again um, to do more with West Virginia Farmers Market Association. And then there's some other things that you do in your own personal life that when you decide that you would like to join us, we'd like to have you on because uh, I will say this about Erica, and I'll probably get chewed out later by my girlfriend. Erica is a well accomplished artist in her own right. She got quiet on that one, guys. Um, but anyway, getting back to normal business, I want to tell you thank you. Is there anybody in your office you want to give a big shout out to?
Um, right now, every time I will forget someone, but I appreciate all of the board of directors that work closely with me and all of our partners that have helped to put this together. And all of the farmers markets that make what I do possible, and all the farmers who have raised our state and keep us fed. So with that, if you guys want to donate, please go to wvfarmers.org/get-involved/Giving Tuesday, or you can email me at coordinator@wvfarmers.org.
All right, guys, you have it right there from Erica. And once again, West Virginia Uncommon Place, thank you all for listening. And we're going to wrap it up.